was also one of the few women that drove, but she drove from the get-go when you had to get out and crank the car, and I'd sit in behind the steering wheel, and you had levers that you had to go move back and forth, and she'd get out and crank the car until it started.
Is that the Model T? There's a picture of you in the Model T?
Right. And I remember doing that, but then there were very few women that were driving at that point. Mother drove all her life until in fact, even when she couldn't drive, she couldn't give up the car. It was sitting out in the parking lot, but finally she had to give that up. But she was one of the few women that drove, and well, that's about all I can think right now to tell you about her.
That's a lot. Thank you. Thank you. So tell us who you are. You're, just for the record.
Oh, okay. I am her daughter.
And what's your name?
Margaret June Baumgart Murphy. And been married to Glenn since 1943. He died in 2003, December 31st. And soon I'll be with him.
Maybe. Depends on your definition of soon.
Soon, yeah. So, I've had a wonderful life and a wonderful mother and Daddy. Daddy was wonderful. And I don't ever remember Daddy being angry. Well, one time, yes, because I almost made her, I think, hold a celluloid whistle over a candle we had in a pumpkin. It was during and it caught fire. And well, anyhow, it got put out, and she wasn't burnt. But Daddy spanked me that time, and that's the only time I know anything about a spanking. But I remember that Daddy did it because he never got angry with me. Mother didn't very often, but I had to pick up my room and I had chores to do baby
Since
doll.
this is a video for Judith Ruby.
Hello, Judith. Judith Ruby. Yeah, Judith Ruby. Yeah, you had a great, that would be your great-great-grandma. Yeah, it was your great-great-grandma. She was a nice lady and a wonderful mama. Yeah, she was, and she'd be loved to see all your kids, because she and Gordon were close. She had Gordon a lot, and Janice, she took Janice a lot then, because Gordon, after so long, he didn't have time for Grandma or anybody. As he said, I didn't even know I had a sister, for Barbara, because she was 10. When he was 20, she would be 10. So that was a big span. Anyhow,
he said he couldn't remember. Judith, what's your middle name? I said, it's your grandma, Dad. He said, I don't know. I didn't call her by her name. I called her Grandma. So Judith Ruby, Dad.
Yeah. He said, I don't know where she got the name Judith.
Was a strong woman who saved the Jewish people.
I was trying to tell Barbara, I said, we were coming and with your baby.
With Esther?
With Esther. I said, and I was, Alana? Is that it?
Alana, yeah.
And she couldn't remember it, and I said, I think Alana, was that it? Oh, yes, she said that. Is that after anyone?
It's after a character in a book.
After what?
A character in a book.
Okay.
That is very important to me, and it's a very strong woman.
Okay. Yeah, well, Mother was... Oh, you're naked? What are you doing naked? She was... Mother was a strong woman.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, she was. But anyhow, then she had... they depended on her a lot to drive when they went places.
Your dad did, or just anybody?
anybody, the women.
Okay.
You know, Ruby will do it. Ruby will do it. And Ruby did it. And she used to work in, during election, would pick up people and drive them to the polls and let them vote and take them back. And
How did she vote? Do you know?
she voted Republican. Daddy
Why?
started out Democrat, but he ended up Republican.
Why? What drew them to that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Is this milk? She got milk off her.
Yeah, she spit up a little.
Did
What?
didn't it make her pretty? Uh-huh.
What were Grandma's sisters' names?
What?
What were Grandma Ruby's sisters' names?
Sisters?
What were her sisters' names?
Phyllis Parthena. Phyllis Parthena. That was in the lineups in the Marble family.
Mm-hmm.
And Esther, I don't know what Esther's middle name was now that I think about it. I remembered Parthena because that's so unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Esther, what was that?
Here's I'm going to ask you a question.
Esther and Phyllis, Ruby, and you've seen and Luna, and I called her Aunt Looney.
And you
Luna.
called Phyllis Tilly, right?
Tilly.
And then she became Woodsy
And
when
then she was
when
Woodsy
Dad
with
took
her.
her.
Okay. And
So, but her given name was Luna.
Luna and Uncle Frank. Frank and Luna. Richard and Bernard and Phyllis and Esther and Mother. And her two sisters never drove. But Mother drove everywhere, and she was a good navigator. She knew direction. She had just kind of which Murph had too. You know, they have a natural direction, and Mother did too. In fact, Daddy would say, "Now which way, Ruby?" Well, Walter, you always turn north or south. Well, then she had to say right or left because he wasn't sure whether he was north or south.
And you said she was crafty. She did quilts and
She did quilts and she sewed. She made me a suit once after even I was married, a green suit. I just loved it. And she, she made her dresses and then did the quilt. Yeah, and she was busy doing things like that.
She made those little beaded bags.
Did she what?
Those little crochet beaded bags.
Yeah, she did. Did you? I don't know where they are.
I have one of them.
You have one.
I think Cynthia has the other
brown
one. Yeah.
or the red?
I have the black one, the brown one, yeah.
That was hers.
And the little red one was yours.
Yeah, and where's the red one?
I think Cynthia has it.
Who, Cynthia?
Cynthia.
Does she? Yeah, she made the beaded purses. There wasn't anything really that she was like your grandma, Audrey.
Audrey.
I think she's an extremely good
She is.
seamstress.
She
Yes.
is.
You've got it on both sides. Not this one.
We'll see. We'll see where she goes with it.
Woodsy. She sewed.
Yep. But your mother was.
Yeah, she's the one that really did the. Well, Mother Woodsy never had girls that she had to sew for, and she used to work for a dressmaker.
Right, that's what you said.
Yeah, and the dressmaker saw her looking out the window one time. She reprimanded her because she had looked away from the sewing and looked out the window.
Well.
Mother never forgot that.
And you said she was young when she was.
Yeah, she was probably 16. Because she would have been finished
With school.
in for 8th grade when she was about 12 or 13. 13 probably. Yeah, I had the same first grade teacher that she had, Miss Snyder. Did something in Douglas School. I went to Douglas. Yeah.
And you lived, what was the address on Wayne Street?
736 Wayne Street. Yeah, and when they ended up at the lake, it was 3736 North Lake Boulevard. Yeah. Okay. Right. Just kick. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
thank you for telling us about your mother.